My name is Waffles, and I'm a government whistleblower turned political commentator. Today is June 14th, 2025, and this is the last 24 hours in the news. Minnesota state lawmaker shot. A gunman posing as a police officer shot two Democratic state lawmakers near Minneapolis, killing one and wounding another and their spouses. A manhunt is currently underway. Marines make first civilian detention in LA. U.S. Marines detained an Army veteran in Los Angeles after a federal deployment to guard infrastructure amid immigration protests, marking the first such action by active duty troops on domestic soil. No Kings protests sweep the nation. Coordinated nationwide protests, approximately 2,000 events under the No Kings banner, opposed Trump's military parade, federal troops in U.S. cities, and asserted defense of democracy. Washington, D.C. saw a massive turnout amid heavy scrutiny. Military parade in Washington, D.C., a $25 to $45 million military parade featuring 6,600 troops, tanks, and flyovers commemorated the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary and coincided with Trump's wannabe dictator 79th birthday party. Rain and ongoing protests cast a mixed atmosphere. ICE raids temporarily paused. Donald Trump directed ICE to significantly reduce raids on farms, hotels, restaurants, and meatpacking plants following pressure over labor shortages. Enforcement against serious criminal cases supposedly continues. Federal judge blocks election overhaul. A federal judge granted an injunction blocking key aspects of Trump's executive order on federal elections, specifically citizenship proof requirements and mail-in ballot rules, citing constitutional concerns. Trump discloses $600 million in income. Trump's financial disclosure reported over $600 million in income across crypto ventures, golf clubs, licensing, and real estate assets, bringing his total assets to at least $1.6 billion. What this means: political violence. The Minnesota shootings highlight rising threats toward public officials and polarized discourse. Militarization at home. Active duty troops detaining civilians signal an unusual and dangerous application of military authority domestically. Public unrest. No Kings protests reflect widespread unease over autocratic governance. Legal limits. The court's block on election reforms reinforces the judiciary's role in checking executive power. Economic transparency. Trump's reported earnings spotlight potential conflicts between his business interests and presidential duties. These are the top international news highlights from the past 24 hours, June 13th to 14th, 2025. Middle East. Israel and Iran conflict escalates. Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, conducting extensive airstrikes on Iranian nuclear and military facilities, including, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Natanz and Esfahan, killing at least 78 people, including senior IRGC figures and nuclear scientists. Iran retaliated, firing over 150 to 200 missiles and drones at Israel, striking central locations like Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. At least 3 Israelis were killed and dozens injured. Iranian officials warned the strikes will continue and threatened targeting U.S., UK, and French military bases in the region. Global alarm. China, Russia, Turkey, Germany, Pope Francis, and UN leaders urged de-escalation. Nuclear negotiations between the U.S. and Iran were canceled. Gaza. Israeli strikes killed at least 35 Palestinians, most near an aid distribution site run by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. Conflict adds to more than 274 total deaths during such operations. Air India Boeing 787 crash. India's aviation regulator is inspecting Boeing 787s following a crash that killed 270 people. Inspections focused on engine and control systems, with 8 of 34 Dreamliners already checked. Canada-India diplomacy. Canadian Sikh leaders outraged by Prime Minister Carney inviting Indian PM Modi to the G7 summit, citing alleged allegations linking Indian agents to Sikh activist killings. Ukraine-Russia clashes. Ukrainian forces halted a Russian advance in the Sumy region, pushing back approximately 53,000 troops. Active combat continues along the border. Urban fire in Dubai. A 67-story high-rise caught fire in Dubai's Marina district, evacuating some 3,800 residents from the burning building. Yesterday, June 13th, 2025, the market closed with the S&P 500 via SPY ETF closed around 5,977, down about 1.1%, a fall of 68 points amid Israel-Iran tensions. Dow Jones dropped roughly 770 points, negative 1.8% to 42,198. NASDAQ Composite via QQQ ETF slid 1.3% to 19,407. These are the highlights for the last 24 hours. Today is June 14th, 2025. It is 11:34 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. In other news, domestic terrorist Masaru is attempting to go to sleep and has become less problematic.